happy Wine Wednesday.
Hey, happy Wine Wednesday, happy hour across the country. Carl's Wine Club members, Canadian wine lovers, Mira MIGHT, how are you doing?
Great, great. Actually, someone just knocked on the door. We started a little late. Someone just knocked on the door and dropped off more Chardonnay.
Ah!
Yeah.
Ah! Are you gonna open it live?
Might as well. Oh, look, I even have a knife here because later I might, if I can get enough courage, I might saber my first bottle of sparkling wine.
Okay. When you told me what you wanted to do, I had a little afterthought. So everyone knows how Mira's new favorite grape is Sauvignon Blanc. So I went to buy a sparkling Sauvignon Blanc. So just to make sure to prompt her up to do it, like she can't back out. It's a bottle of Sauvignon Blanc. So yes, sparkling Sauvignon Blanc. So who just arrived?
So this is from Henry of Pelham. Okay.
Okay.
All right, we're getting lots of these. We've had what, about 40 now? 40 wineries.
With these ones, we're going to be at 36, but we have another run to do tomorrow to the south of the Okanagan, and we have at least another 10 to pick up. So we'll be at 45 or so.
So I have Henry of Pelham Estate Chardonnay 2020.
Okay.
Okay. And then I have the...
Which one is this?
Spec Family Reserve 2020.
Whoa, that's the big dog.
That's the big dog? Good.
That's the big
lots
dog.
of big dogs coming up.
Oh, that's the
kids.
That's the crew. That's the crew. Okay, so what I have here, because last week we got one bottle too late from our Sauvignon Blanc Day, and so we received Muscedere. For people who are familiar with the show, familiar with the club, Muscedere Vineyard in Lake Erie, North Shore, Appalachian, is one of our absolute favorite. And we did a reorder with the club because like everyone was so impressed with their reds. And so anyhow, long story short, Melissa sent us a Sauvignon Blanc for Sauvignon Blanc Day, but didn't make it on time. But when we opened the box, we had a beautiful surprise. And you know, there's multiple reasons why we're doing what we do. So because we started Carl's Wine Club because we're passionate about Canadian wine, because we're passionate about our wine producer. We want to build that Canadian wine lovers community. But one thing that absolutely light me up, it's when we got these little special shipments here. See, this is Muscedere, but with a little tape underneath, said tank samples, bottling June for their Pinot Noir 2020. So 2020 vintage. Now we're on 2022. This bottle spent a year in barrel. Now ready to be bottled next month. And Melissa, without even like, I didn't ask for anything, or it was that just like because she really enjoyed what Muscedere did with Carl's Wine Club. She just included a bottle of tank sample in the package. So this is so really darn cool. And that's what I have in my glass here. I haven't tasted yet. So I'm gonna have the first sip of the new, not bottled yet, a tank sample of the 2020 Pinot Noir from Muscedere Vineyard in Lake Erie, North Shore, Appalachian. Nice, bright and juicy. There's also a nice dose of earthiness in there. Well balanced. Oh yeah. So Lake Erie North Shore Pinot Noir. tank sample that I just got here. That is super cool. Bright nose. There's a little bit of cocoa on the nose. Definitely a tad of mushroom. Red cherry. A little bit of like oregano or like Italian herbs. I love that. I love that. There's a long finish, nice little crisp cinnamon sparkle, like feel at the end like a cinnamon bread. That's a nice Pinot Noir. Love that Muscedere Vineyard tank sample right here. And funny enough, so tasting that here, and also same week we got like, you know what, we got another thing like this, right? The bottle is not bottled yet, just with the stamp right by hand. This is the new 2021 Viognier from Intersection. So that's going to be cracked a little later tonight because we have to finalize all of the tasting notes for Intersection, who last year was one of the club's favorite. Intersection was really, really popular among Carl's Wine Club members. We had a big hit with our offer last year. And guess what? That's what we're featuring next week. And they're bottling this week the Viognier, the new 2021. We tasted this weekend because this is the Merlot powerhouse of the Okanagan. If you like Merlot and you like the Okanagan, well, Intersection is one of your top choice year in and year out. They like to age their wine in the house. So now they're releasing their 2017 vintage, the Silica, the Alluvia. So we tasted both. Also, the Axiom. Axiom 2015 was one of my top wine of the year in 2020, the first year of Carl's Wine Club. And they just released the sought after 2016 vintage, 200 cases made or something like that. So we tried the Axiom 2016 over the weekend, and I have to tell you, that wine's gonna be, that gets pretty close. That probably gonna be on the list again this year. Of if it's not in the top 10, it's gonna be right around the top 10. We're here now in May, and it's one of the top wine I've tasted this year, 2016 Axiom Intersection. Also, so the Silica. So they have one Merlot vineyard in there, and in like the vineyard has two different type of soil, and that's why they do two single vineyard, different blocks. So under Alluvia and Silica, and the wines are completely different, but it's from the same vineyard, same oak treatment, same winemaking process, grapes from the same vineyard, but two different plots of the vineyard where the soil is completely different. Actually, it shows very, very, it's so obvious when you taste the 17 vintage. The Silica is much more serious, much more old world style, even if it's Okanagan and it's rich and all of that. Alluvia is more on fruit. Alluvia is more on spice. Alluvia is more bright fruit. Silica is more dark fruit. So anyway, I did both side by side one night this weekend, and what an amazing experience to taste two wines from the same vintage, from the same vineyard, but different soil composition on each part of the vineyard. So it was really, really, really cool. Hey, here she's back. So I was just talking about the Merlot powerhouse Intersection vineyard winery.
I heard that was so interesting tasting them. They're so different.
Yeah,
and, the same place and everything, like amazing.
Yeah, amazing. So yeah, and on that also, the Milepost. The Milepost is their entry-level Merlot, like a $22 Merlot, where I don't think that it's possible to find a better value Merlot from the Okanagan Valley. That 2019, obviously Axiom is probably my rock star of that pack. There's so many, because the Axiom, that's the Bordeaux blend. will definitely, it'd be like a 93 plus or just around the 94. An absolute thick ass wine, one of the top this year, no doubt about that. The Silica, really solid Merlot, probably around the 92 points. The Riesling 2017 was my favorite BC Riesling last year. So we're featuring that one as well. But the milepost, the $22 Merlot, who over delivered the shit out of that price point. No idea how that wine is shown so good for 22 bucks. Absolutely amazing. You remember the milepost? Because we had a big dinner with friends on Saturday, all wine people, and everyone enjoyed the Silica and the Alluvia, but what raised the most eyebrows around the table was the price point of the milepost.
Yeah, great value for that one. That's a good one.
Yeah. And so yeah, and also what's cool with that offer is going to be the two bonus pick, library release of the 2014 Silica and 2014 Appassimento. So these are not available anywhere, not my wine club offer or anything. These are library wines sitting there. They release like 100 bottles of each just for Carl's Wine Club. So coming your way next week, it's Intersection. Some really cool stuff in there. That's for sure.
Awesome. That is awesome. Hey, I had to step out for a minute to deal with the children's situation there, but have you tasted the tank sample or
I did.
Or this one yet? Yeah,
I did. I did. The tank sample, it's well, you know, it's right midway to between the old world and the new world. I think there's that bright fruit, but also some earthiness. There's a nice little like sprinkle of cinnamon on the back at the end. There's a little bit of mushroom, earth, dirt in there. There's a little bit of like the wood still showing. Obviously, it's tank sample, right? They haven't sit in bottle yet, but
so fresh. Oh my gosh, that's the thing with tank samples. Like you can tell it's super fresh.
Yeah, it's uber fresh. Exactly. It's like biting in a fresh apple, right? You know, or like going in the orchard and grab the fresh peach. You know, like it's just coming off the tree. So there's something cool and special about that. Yeah, and that's what we're experiencing tonight. Like it's really darn cool.
Very awesome. So what is this thing that I am about to do, Carl Boucher, this sabering stunt? I first heard about sabering when, because I am, you know, the average, well, less than average wine drinker. I started drinking wine during the pandemic for
not anymore. I'll tell you one thing: the amount of wine you tasted last year, you're not the average wine drinker anymore.
I made up for a lifetime of not drinking wine in the last 2 years. We've tasted probably in the last 2 years, what, about 1,500 Canadian wines?
800, like just around 850 last year only. So they did you math a bit less the first year, but it's just going and just increasing every year. So that's pretty cool.
A lot of wine. And even though I'd been married to Carl Boucher for a long time, and before Carl's Wine Club, he had quite the following in Calgary. I didn't really know what you do. So I think it was just like at a party or I don't know what, that you were like, oh yeah, let's saber that bottle. And they're like, oh, we don't have a saber. And you were like, that's okay. I can do it with like a spoon.
A teaspoon. Yeah.
Yeah. You were like a teaspoon. I can saber the bottle. Yeah. And I was like, what? You can saber it with a spoon? You're like, yeah, I don't know. I've done it with a butter knife. Like, so these are skills. And sabering, basically, what is it? It's just like taking a champagne or a sparkling wine, using some kind of knife, usually like people have like a fancy saber, and rubbing the knife along there and like cutting off the tops so that you don't have to like, you know, uncork it or whatever. You just kind of cut it off and then the champagne comes out. It's pretty
And well,
spectacular.
there's the one thing that you have to know though, if you want to try that, first and foremost, no one should be in front of you. You never know how much psi it's in the bottle, or how much the cork's gonna fly out. So that's to be like safety. Make sure there's nobody in front of you. I know the kids are playing outside, so no kids in front, because you never know how far the cork can fly. But we
Yeah,
don't have a cork.
I'll point towards the garden. But yeah, this one that we got has
it's a cap, so it's just capped.
Yeah.
So this is okay. Make sure you follow the seams. When you touch the bottle, you'll feel there's just seams on the bottle, on the side of the bottle.
Bottle has kind of like a tiny little.
Yeah, but that when you slide the blade on the bottle, make sure you slide it along the seams, because that's the weak point of the bottle. So when you hit the lip, and you hit the lip with your blade at 15 degrees, 45 degrees inclination, not too flat, not too close. If it's too close, you're gonna slide over the lip. Yeah. If you're too open, you might pop the bottle open. Yeah.
So, like 45 degrees. Yeah.
Kind of.
I don't have a saber, so I'm using like a kitchen knife. So we'll give this a shot. So I have never in my life done something so crazy, but I have heard that it's exhilarating. And when we talked about having our member reunions, we were like, well, what sort of fun things should we do at a Carl's Wine Club event? And someone brought the idea of sabering some wine, because it's a bit of a celebration and get together. And there's nothing that kind of gets people excited as seeing like bubblies spewing out of bottles and people, flicking them off with a knife. It's kind of fun. So, and what's the history of this, Carl? Like, it's like Napoleon's people.
Yeah, and but also like you use that also to disgorging bottle a long time ago with the in Champagne. But yeah, it's more like the Napoleon, like the French army, where they were celebrating stuff.
And I heard that Madame Clicquot, Veuve Clicquot,
yep,
she inherited the winery when she was like 26 or something. Her husband passed away. And so all the Napoleon soldiers would come through that area and stop at the Champagne winery and saber the bottles for her, because she apparently really enjoyed seeing the bottles being sabered. So there's fun little...
Yeah, Madame Clicquot had a heck of a story behind her, that's for sure.
Is she?
Yeah. And okay, so that's but yeah, it's going to be interesting with that Black Market Wine Company on June the 3rd with our party, because we're gonna have the sabering station, so everyone who wants to try it, that's going to be pretty cool to see all the action. Sometimes there's a couple bottles like completely exploding, and so we're up for a lot of fun. I think we're gonna have some pretty cool footage of that.
Totally. I'm kind of scared of the glass, so we're going to be careful with that.
No, because it's under pressure. Everything in there is under pressure, so everything goes away. Like everything pop. So you don't have to be worried about that. And cleaner the cut is, easier it is to pour the wine after.
Nice.
So and we really like that wine that you're gonna savor. So make sure that you go in like a nice one, okay? Because I want to taste it again.
I want to taste it too. I don't want to explode it. Okay, I'm gonna go get my chilled wine, because that's one of the tricks with sabering wine. You want to have it really well chilled. I've heard.
Yeah, it helps.
I'm gonna go get it from the fridge. It's well chilled. I'm gonna go outside, away from children, and bring my knife.
By the way, can you please tell the friends? The friends that their grandma just texted me that it's time for them to go for dinner.
Okay, perfect. I'll let them know. So, hey, Yannick, nice to see you.
Yannick is here. We're just talking about the party, Yannick. We just we're talking about
you might try and come up, so that's awesome. I was just researching
the sabering station. Mira's going outside now, try to saber a bottle of bubbly, so we'll see how it goes.
And I was just researching accommodation options for you there. Yeah, Nick, it looks like there's a few. So I'll
So
send you.
while you were getting set up, and I already talked about intersection, who's coming up next week. I might talk a little bit about Chardonnay, but before I talk Chardonnay, I would like to talk Nova Scotia.
Ooh, that's exciting. Okay, well, I get
How
set up.
about that? And when you come back, we'll finalize details. We'll talk more about details because we have lots of cool details about the party now. So
That's awesome. Okay, I'll see you in a minute. And then don't let me forget, I've been meaning to ask you about your most memorable experience sabering some wine because you have
yeah,
done some
I
crazy
have
things with your
loads of
wine.
it, and we'll have a couple of fun story that where like the
Awesome.
teaspoon story will come up. So
I want to know the teaspoon story, how you sabered a wine with a teaspoon. Okay, we'll see you in a minute with my knife and my saber and my sparkling wine outside.
there you go. We'll chat in a minute. Okay, so here's Mira's going outside right now. She's just going to get set up. She's been wanted to do that for a while now. So she's gonna saber a bottle of I think I got her a bottle of a bottle of Lakeside Cellar Sauvignon Blanc Sparkling. So she's gonna go outside and try to saber it because we're talking sabering. Sorry, we have finalized all the details to our members reunion, BC members reunion party at Black Market Wine Company for June 3rd, and there's going to be a sabering station there, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So Mira wants to sharpen her skills a little bit. Even if we don't have a saber at home, we're going to have one for that party. It's a little bit more tricky when you start without a saber, but I give her the kitchen knife, the chef's knife. Hopefully, she's going to be able to figure something out with that in her hand. So yeah, what I wanted to talk about a little bit before we talk Chardonnay, because this upcoming Saturday, this weekend, it's the World Chardonnay Day, and there's a lot to unpack about that. Lots to talk about. A lot of wine made their way to Carl's Wine Club's office this week. So yeah. Hey, if you're listening right now, I want to know where you're tuning from and what's in your glass. So I just tasted this little tank sample from Muscedere Vineyard Pinot Noir 2020 vintage, just arrived late last week. And here in my glass right now, I have L'Acadie Blanc. What? Yeah. L'Acadie Blanc. What's that? L'Acadie Blanc. What's that? It's a grape varietal. It's an hybrid grape who grows the most in Nova Scotia, because we're talking Domaine des Grands Prés here, l'Acadie Blanc 2020 vintage. We unpacked a full box of Nova Scotia wine this weekend, and for you using Rob Amersley, winemaker, owner of Black Market Wine Company here in Killeden, BC. These wines are fucking unreal. We tasted 4 different wines from Nova Scotia this weekend, all from Domaine des Grands Prés. And wow, price point unbelievable, unbelievable value, and such a East Coast typicity. Like salinity, like a little salty ocean taste at the end of all of their white wine. Such a cool experience. We've been exploring the possibility to do something with Domaine des Grands Prés, and I think we nailed down some pretty cool shipping rate, because it's always the biggest challenge these days right now. The days of the early pandemic where all the free shipping with the wine industry are behind us, unless they're a very big player and they have lots of money to subsidize the shipping, and especially in a market like Nova Scotia where they isolated on one side of the country. It's basically on an island where all the shipping costs are so exorbitant. So we have agreed with Domaine des Grands Prés had subsidized the shipping for a big chunk. So it's gonna be in June. We're gonna feature some wine from Nova Scotia. We were pretty cool. So I have L'Acadie Blanc here in my glass, medium to full body almost. There's a little bit of Chardonnay like on the nose, like that little nuttiness, like almond cookie a little bit. That reminds me. Also, there's a little bit of grassiness, outstanding minerality. I got in there some poached pear, maybe also with a mix of red apple. So really interesting white wine, uber refreshing. All of their wines have a really bright, mouth-watering acidity. So yeah, very very interesting style of wine. They also have the Tidal Bay Appalachian wine, a blend of five different white grapes. Outstanding white blend under $20. Super super like summer sipper type of wine, bone dry. And my favorite is their Riesling, the 2020 Rieslings from the Domaine des Grands Prés. Oh, wow. I cannot wait to tell you more about that. It was absolutely spectacular. So, oh, she's back. She's outside.
Hey, sorry, the lighting is terrible because it's so bright in our yard. You can see the lake right there. I heard all the interesting things while I was trying to get courage here to do this. So,
well, I was just talking about Annapolis Valley, Nova Scotia, and how grateful we are to have met with the people at Domaine des Grands Prés and the quality of wine they're making, and
amazing.
all the extra step that they're doing to lower their shipping rate and all of that. It's pretty cool. So we have a bunch of members here, like drinking some pretty darn cool stuff tonight.
Yes.
Yannick has cracked an 18 upper bench Estate Pinot Noir. The Estate Pinot Noir was my number
Really
2
good.
wine of the year last year.
Yeah. And then someone's having a Calcaire Russian River Valley Chardonnay 2012 Clos du Bois. I will not know anything about this because I only
So Russian River Valley, it's in Sonoma County. Remember?
we went there, yeah.
When I went there years ago on a trip, I stayed for 6 days in the Russian River Valley. So this is the mecca of Chardonnay in the United States. Best Chardonnays are coming from the Russian River Valley.
That's awesome. And yeah, Michelle's having a Giant Head Merlot 2015. So that's pretty sweet.
That 2015 Merlot was pretty close to my top wine on my list of the top 10 wine also. This is a huge.
And that someone is from Cambridge. This is Daryl Hickey. There you go. Daryl. And Daryl's saying knife might not have enough weight.
Well, that's what we're talking about.
Well, we'll see. Okay. If I can't do it, we'll blame it on the knife. It'll be great.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can come downstairs and I can help.
Okay, well, let's see how bad it gets here. So I have the lakeside bubbles. Okay.
Don't be shy to give it a good. Don't be shy to give it a good a good whip.
A good whip with the sharp side or the dull side. I don't know.
Go with the sharp side.
Okay, I see the little seam. I see the little seam here where I can feel it.
Yeah. There you go. Way to go.
It actually did it. Look at it. It's cut.
Perfect cut. Perfect cut.
Was trying to tell me, it doesn't always get cut. So if it doesn't cut, that's okay. And it's your first time. It's all good. Et voila, Daryl. See, I did it. Oh my God.
Et voila.
That was thrilling. That was thrilling. And now I can just pour it like this.
Yeah.
Opening it. Oh my God. Yeah. Like way easier. Why would you just carry a knife around and do that? Or like Carl Boucher does, carry a spoon around. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Yannick. It was the hardest part was just the nerves. I was like, oh my God, what if it doesn't work? What if I explode it? What if it doesn't come off?
You know what? We need to do a collage, a little montage of when I blew up the bottle in the living room at
Yes,
our house in
you
Calgary,
did.
and this one side by side. What to do, what not to do. You know what? I don't mind. I don't mind to be the farce of it, the joke of it. Okay. I
But that
think we
was,
can be.
you were trying to saber it with the spoon that time, right?
Was it? No.
I think I
Anyway.
put you up for it. I think I was
Yeah.
like, well, you told me you did this before, so do it again. Yeah.
Yeah, but the whole story with that is we were doing the New Year's party at a very busy restaurant in Calgary, and I was the wine director. And just before midnight, the owner pulled me up on the table, like standing up, and 300 people in the restaurant stopped the music, and they say, "Okay, it's midnight now, so let's. Carl's gonna saber a bottle of champagne." So I said, "Okay," and I'm right here. Okay, he gave me the bottle of champagne, and I think it's what like something like a 1990 or 1986 Dom Perignon,
Oh,
and like older vintage. And I said, well, the saber is at the second level. I said, you don't need the saber, just use the teaspoon. And everyone started to laugh. And there's 300 people in that darn place. So they started to flash the light, and I'm just like, literally like standing up on a table, and everyone, and I'm with that stupid teaspoon here in my hand in a $500 bottle of champagne, and they started to play some music, and people started to scream, "Do it, do it!" And I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like I just want to get out of here. So finally, I did. In my head, I just told myself, "Okay, you have a saber, just do it." And I did it, and guess what happened? It just popped it perfectly, and I had like that standing ovation, and you know
that's
what? And
how
I
Carl became
never, and I
legend
was
in Calgary.
never able to do it again. I was put to challenge maybe like 100 times. I was known in the downtown Calgary for doing it, and I've never been able to do it one time
That's
again. That was
hilarious.
just pure luck.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah, that's
Mind
my
over matter. Mind over matter. You had some
yeah.
telepathic waves opening that champagne that night.
Yeah, so it was just like like the pure beginner luck, or like I don't know. I had the ministry of angels with me that night, and
Yep. They helped
yeah,
you out. You know what? I didn't know that story. I just knew that everyone said you know how to saber bottles with a spoon. It was like a few people I met that were like, "Oh yeah, you're lucky you got Carl. Carl's the guy that can saber a champagne with a spoon." And I was
yeah,
like,
but
"Really, really?"
all right, but that became a legend because
Yeah.
I did it once. But after that, I was never. And we bought when we opened Belgo in Calgary. It was like a massive restaurant. It was the place to be, and like we bought a real saber, and like with like Daryl mentioned, the weight of the real saber. It's easy as shit to do that. So it just carried like the blade just carried over and popped the top off, and like it's really easy. But
I still can't believe it. I did it. And not only did I do it, but like I actually like cut the glass.
yeah, that's the
That's
perfect pop.
crazy.
Like that's what I'm saying, and that's what I tried to say. It's like you're not cutting the glass. It's just when you hit the lip, it
I don't know
just like
where it went. I don't know where it went. In the garden. It's in the garden. We'll find it soon. I don't
we'll
know.
find it because we need to keep it. It has to be part of Carl's Wine Club history. It's like
Oh,
it's a
right.
milestone. That bottle will go on the wall of fame that we have on the other
That's
side,
true.
the other
So
arch.
you guys see the background Carl has there? We have another one exactly like that on the other side of the house. And I said that has to be your wall of fame. So we'll put all the empty bottles that are, let's say, 93, 94 points and up,
94 points and up.
and the bottle that I sabered. How about that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I might have you might have to sign it or something like that. But now, Mira Boucher, you better be careful because now you're gonna be like, I know, like we have it, like on like we have footage of it. So everywhere we go now,
People think I can saber wine.
people no, people know that you can saber wine. So
I did it once. Well, guess
yeah.
what? If you are coming to our reunion on the 3rd or the 24th, the 3rd is in BC, the 24th is in Niagara, then you can try your hand at it. I think we'll probably have to get depending on, we'll probably have to get people to buy the bottle of wine. Right? So
yeah, exactly. So we'll probably have a stash with bottles around like $20 bottle of sparkling. And yeah, you buy the bottle, and we're gonna. What I want to do, I want footage of everyone who do it, and we can send the members their footage. So you pay your bottle, but we're gonna send you your footage from the moment that you get the saber in your hand. You can even see a little something, and poof, you do it, and we're gonna send you the full footage.
And you know what else? If you can't come to the reunions, what about you celebrate with us, whatever it is you're celebrating in the next month or two or ever, and just try it. Try what I just tried. I literally have never, ever tried that in my life before, and it was thrilling. It was so exciting. So just try that. Take a clip of it and then post it in the VIP group or tag us wherever you're posting it. It'll be fun to see that.
Yeah. Maybe we can do like a little prize when people send us a
saber,
a sabering, a successful. Well, even if it's not successful.
Yeah, even if it's not successful.
If like, come on, hey, that was pretty epic when I blew the bottle.
Yes, that was awesome.
That was pretty epic. So we need to do
almost as good as when I sat on a wine glass. Daryl has a good idea. Should celebrate with a victory bottle of Pearl Morissette Chardonnay.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you guys, stop it. We ordered 18 bottles like 6 months ago, and I'm down to 3 bottles.
We got to save one for like something, I don't know, so we can see how it
tastes. I have one here, and because I want to talk about World Chardonnay Day. So this is Pearl. This is Mira's absolute favorite wine. But I say Mira, it's probably my favorite wine as well in the last couple of years. So special weekend of this coming weekend. It's World Chardonnay Day, 2nd edition. Last year was the first World Chardonnay Day, and we got involved with the guys named Jim Scherer or something like that. He's based in Pennsylvania, and yes, there is the anyway. Long story short, he started that hashtag World Chardonnay Day. And some people got pissed off because there's already national Chardonnay Day and this and that. And I just say, just
there's too many reasons to open Chardonnay. It's too many reasons. No.
Yeah. So anyway, we kind of buy into World Chardonnay Day because it was kind of something new, and we really want to shine the potential of Canadian Chardonnay around the world. We want to show the world the potential that we have with our Chardonnay, cold climate Chardonnay, and like we have so many different terroirs across the country. We produce some outstanding, some of the best in the world Chardonnay. And last year we tasted, I think it was 26 Chardonnay, if my memory's bang on. It
was the first varietal marathon we ever did, actually, a year ago.
Yeah,
and we've done quite a few since. A lot of you guys have joined us, so thank you.
Yeah, so and this year we're taking it to the next level. Like we have near 45. I think we're going to get 45 or 46 different Chardonnay, all Canadian. So this is okay, you guys know me, how Chardonnay junkie I am. This is my biggest passion in the wine biz. I've been geeking out on Chardonnays for 20 years. I've never had as much fun as tasting Canadian Chardonnay because there's so many different styles, so many different terroirs. Anyway, and the quality is outstanding. So on Saturday, we're going to start at 3 o'clock, and I have some people who are going to come around our house tasting with us. We're going to be live for 5 to 6 hours. I don't know how long it's going to be, but we have stuff like Pearl Morissette, Cuvée 19e, 2018 vintage. We have
the new one. My favorite was the 2017.
We have Mount Boucherie Original Vine Chard, who was my favorite last year, the new vintage, the 2021. But also Mount Boucherie gave us a bottle of their reserve Chardonnay. So 2 different styles of Chardonnay from Mount Boucherie. Blanc de Blanc Sparkling Chardonnay from Summerhill, a 2012 vintage. So I am thrilled to taste that. We just received Leaning Post, a single vineyard, 2019 Grimsby Hill Vineyard from Lincoln Lake Shore, Appalachian. I am pretty stoked. I'm so thrilled to taste that one. I know that Vineland Estate put something pretty special in the box as well. What else do I? Oh, Da Silva. Da Silva has a reserve 2016 Chardonnay that we tasted this weekend. It was the wine of the weekend. And Richard Da Silva, the owner, said, stop by the wine shop. He's in Vancouver right now for the wine festival. But he said, so stop by the wine shop. I'm going to have another bottle for you. And he also include a single vineyard 2022 Chardonnay from Da Silva. And I'm really excited. We're bringing in some Giant Head Cannon View 2016. So this is going to be a big, heavy battle of 2016 Chardonnay from Summerland and the Naramata Bench. What else? We have some from the other side, Priest Creek, a new bottling from Priest Creek on the east side of Kelowna. Black Hills, Desert Hills. From Ontario, we have Ice Cellar, who sent us a new their new Chardonnay. Bellaterra is part of it. Suan, Mary Nesson. 2027 Cellar has a small batch Chardonnay that is. Anyway, we have so many to try. I am so thrilled.
Okay.
And Mira, I think you wanted to invite people over, right?
Yes. Okay. So if you are in the Okanagan this Saturday, May 21st, send me a direct message and we'd love for you to stop by in person. We're in Trout Creek. We are right next to Summerland and Trout Creek. We're right next to the lake. And I will have a members corner because I've heard there are maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 members in the area that might stop by. So if you are in the Okanagan, you want to stop by Saturday night, there's no cost whatsoever. It's just our house, and you would be more than welcome to be part of our members tasting panel and stop by whenever you can after 3 o'clock and taste what we've got open. We'll also have some things that pair with. So this is where I need people's help. If you have a certain appetizer or little food that you love paired with Chardonnay, let me know because I want to have a bunch of little snackish pairings for all the different Chardonnays.
Yeah, I'm going to have...
We're already to a cheesemonger in Kelowna and picked up a bunch of Canadian cheeses. So that'll be great.
Yeah, I stopped by Percival Young and I talked with the owner. And he was like, wow, that is so crazy what you guys are doing. He was like, absolutely. So, and we had a Zoom meeting with the team because they asked us to be the Canadian ambassador for Chardonnay with the World Chardonnay Day. And we had a Zoom meeting.
There's one guy from Niagara too, Sam Jonas or something like that.
Yeah. And, but we had a Zoom meeting this week with some people. There was some on the call. There was people from France, some Argentina, Australia, Morocco. There was people from all over the world, and that's funny enough because Jim, the organizer, at some point stopped everyone. He said, "Okay, you guys need to know what Carl and Mira are doing in Canada. These guys are absolutely crazy. We have the biggest Chardonnay party on schedule around the world on Saturday." So that is the cool part. There's no one else around the globe in the whole freaking world who was doing something as big as we're doing on Saturday for World Chardonnay Day. So hashtag fuck you all. We're doing the biggest show.
To the rest of the world, not to me.
No. Yeah, not to you.
Yeah, no, just to say that Canadian Chardonnay, for those that don't know it yet, is pretty freaking spectacular and it's world class. So
yeah, and we have so many different style, and we'll have a few on oak. Yeah, also Tinhorn Creek, I think, dug into their library and they have something like 2010 available for like make us like an older vintage of Chard for us. So tomorrow, just so you know, I'm taking my business partner, aka my wife, on a road trip, and we're going to pick up Chardonnays all over the valley. We're going to stop at De Silva. We're stopping also on the bench at Moraine. Oleg has something special for us. We're going to Meyer. Jack Meyer wanted us to swing by and pick up something from Meyer. They're known across the country for their Pinot and their Chardonnay. So Jack has a little something for us. And we're going to hit Oliver as well, where Maverick has some stuff for us. Black Hills, Desert Hills.
That's great. Hey,
Yeah,
you know what, Carl Boucher? I think that the wine that you saber yourself tastes really good.
Absolutely. You know, that's the
Maybe
release
better than
of
you would
all of
normally
that.
think. Because I drank that pretty fast.
That it's awesome. You know what? We should go around the block and offer all of the neighbors a little shot of what you've just done.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Chardonnay Day this weekend. Spread the world. Like tell everyone and join us. Join us for the celebration. We're gonna, and I can't wait to report back. And we're gonna score and taste, score, and describe every single wine. I'm hoping I have Cole Larson, an old buddy from Calgary, who run the wine shop at Fitzpatrick, where I stopped this afternoon, is going to swing by with his cellar hand. A cool kid who studied viticulture in Bordeaux, who is now working at Fitzpatrick in Summerland for 2 years now. And he has an extreme, like a super understanding of Chardonnay as well. So he's going to be swinging by. We have Robbie, the former sommelier at Times Winery, who's going to swing by as well at some point. And I'm keep extending some invite to other people from the industry. Maybe I hope that Crystal McWater will might have this chance to swing by, or like I want people to swing by and taste wine with me. Rob Hammersley, owner, winemaker at Black Market, will be joining me for a couple of hours as well. Our great friend Jan Novak, who works at Meyer, is going to be with us, tasting wine with us. So Chardonnay celebration, I can't wait. Mira, my mouth is watering just thinking about it. I'm so thrilled.
The occupational hazards of Chardonnay Day are probably less than, let's say, Cab Franc Day or Riesling Day. There's less tannins, less acidity, so I think we'll last longer.
Yeah, definitely. Like Riesling was really tough. Riesling, we went to around the 30 bottles, and the high acidity of Riesling destroyed my mouth. At the end, I was just tapping out.
You might want to unhear this later, but Riesling changes the way your urine smells a little bit like asparagus does. Just so you know. Just saying. Just it doesn't happen with other wines, just Riesling. So that's interesting.
Fun fact. That's why people are tuning in, is for these kind of fun facts that Mira just put out of her bag.
You will not hear that anywhere else.
Oh, that's for sure not. That's for sure not. So yeah, a couple other things here. Like we just talked about Nova Scotia, how freaking fantastic. Like it's all about price point as well, right? So we're having some cool stuff cooking with Nova Scotia. It's coming up your way in June. Next week, Intersection is the Merlot powerhouse of the Okanagan. Small producer who basically do not ship their wine outside of BC and Alberta. And now for second time around with Carl's Wine Club. So we are thrilled. Next week will be an absolute blast with Intersection. What else?
After that, we're going straight to Nova Scotia, which is crazy. We need to find a Nova Scotia lobster for that Wine Wednesday.
Yes, we should. We need to talk with Cecilia, the owner at one of the sister at the winery at Domaine des Grands Prés, and yeah, something like that. Leaning Post also just shipped a full shipment, not only Chardonnay, but Leaning Post sent us a full box of wine to taste. So yeah, there's some cool stuff coming. Let's talk quickly about our members party in BC.
Yes.
And Ontario before we shut it off.
And winery touring for those who want to. Yeah.
Yeah, and on winery touring. So what we've done, we asked people who have already booked their ticket to come to Black Market. So we're doing two things. First, this is the global party, let's put it that way. How the party structure, 6 o'clock start. We're going to have a big piece of a pig roast on the stick, on the natural fire, in the vineyard, in the backyard of the winery. Set a table set up in the vineyard. Like we're literally sitting between rows at the Conviction Ridge vineyard in Toledo.
This is what this is about. It's going to look somewhat like this. Like literally, but with a better view of Skaha Lake.
Absolutely. So this, and we have special guests because Marcel Morgenstern, Lou Puglisi, and Fred DiPorfrio, aka the Bellaterra team, are flying out to Western Canada in the Okanagan to spend the week with us and to attend to the BC members reunion. Because guess what? They're going to be our host at the end of June. So they're coming to celebrate with the BC members. I picked up some wine from them today. So we're going to do a guided tasting. When you guys get to Black Market, we're going to have some bubbly going. We're going to meet, we're going to say hi and walk around. And we're going to do a guided tasting of 2 wines of Black Market Wine Company and 2 wines of Bellaterra. Not a competition, just a complimentary wine. The guided tasting will be led by Rob Amersley, the owner and winemaker at Black Market, by Marcel and Fred and Lou, and by Mira and Carl. So we're going to present these wines to you. You're going to be sitting in the vineyard tasting Ontario wine and Black Market wines side by side. That is really cool. And after that, we're going to have like the pig roast will be ready. We have a super chef who is an owner. He owns a small catering business in Okanagan Falls. He used to be a chef at Chateau Lac Louise and at the Post Hotel and an awesome place in Canmore. So Chef Carl is putting a spread for us for that night. And we're going to have the
Carl with a K. Carl with a K.
Carl with a K.
So not to get confused there.
There's going to be the Sabering station. Rob's going to bring his tractor nearby. We can take pictures on the tractor. All the whole 9 yards. There's no band. There's no like big entertainment because we want to connect with members. It's about personal connection. And for the first time since the end of the pandemic, we are spending time in person, connecting with you, with the members. So you have not only Michelle and Rob and Karen, who's like the most amazing staff, the most amazing employee of the Okanagan. She has such a great knowledge of wine, and she's been working with Rob and Michelle. Jan and Karen's going to help us out as well. So not only you have the chance to connect with the owner of Black Market, but also with the guests. With the Bellaterra team and Carl and Mira, and also our kids. If you always wanted to meet our kids because you see them on
yeah, my parents are going to be there with the kids and probably taking them home early for bed, but we'll see. We'll see how well behaved they'll be.
Well, yeah, exactly. They might put us to bed that night. We'll never know. So yeah, before that though, we have, I think now there's only 4 tickets available though. So we're doing the library vertical tasting. So 4 o'clock start. We have 4 more seats available only. It's private tasting with Rob of 5 years of the syndicate. 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Side by side.
Circle for Rob, because I'm pretty sure that's 2014 was his first vintage of it, right?
Uh,
Second.
yeah, some of the. I'm not sure if this was his first. So
One of
anyway,
the early.
we'll know all of these details when we're there. It's going to be a full-on library vertical tasting for an hour, tasting these wines, and we're going to have Lou and Fred and Marcel tasting with. They're going to taste Rob's wine for the first time, vertical with you guys. And Chef Carl said he has a few little bites. He's planning a few little bites for that vertical tasting. After we taste,
did I hear correctly? He's planning some asparagus, which Kaleden, by the way, where the winery is known for asparagus as well. Asparagus covered in dark chocolate.
That's something that we talk about.
That sounds pretty crazy. I hope he does that.
But for me, the kicker is after tasting 5 previous vintage side by side of his flagship wine, the Syndicate, who, by the way, the 2019 made my top 10 wine of the year last year. Michelle and Rob are going to take us on a vineyard tour. So we're going to go walk Conviction Ridge Vineyard with the owner and Karen, who works the vineyard. She's the viticulturist there as well. So we're going to work with the team in the vineyard for half an hour and discover what Conviction Ridge Vineyard is. So you can't get that anywhere else. So yeah, so we're going to do vertical.
Fascinating. When we talk about wines with a sense of place, to actually be like standing in the place where they're coming from, it gives the wine a whole nother dimension. It's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, so that's what we're planning. It's there's ticket for the dinner. It is probably like what I think 18 ticket left available for the dinner. There's only 4 tickets available for the vertical tasting, and this is for our party on June 3rd, Friday, June 3rd. Many people replied and they will be interested in the wine tour on the Thursday. So we have decided to rent a bus, a small one, for 20 people, I think. How many? Is it 20 or 18?
It's maximum 20. I don't know if we'll have 20, but yeah, it'll be a small group under 20.
We're going to take you to a 4 to 4 stops on the Naramata bench. So we're going to do a little bench tour. Winery will be announced in the next, I would say by next Monday. We're going to have the winery announced with the tour previously. So the day before the party. So everyone who travels the wine country for that party, we're going to have a full day of touring the day before. Wine tasting on Thursday. You got it right, Yannick. We want to do a full tour. And guess what? The winery we're going to select. We're not going to do the little tasting room 3 wine tasting. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about I'm not going to promise anything live, but we're talking about special experience at each and every wine.
We're talking Carl's Wine Club style.
Carl's Wine Club style wine touring.
What we wish we could show you guys every time we feature a winery. Like, I just wish I had a body cam or something when we first go into a winery and when we visit. You really get to see like the people and the place in a different way when you spend more than half an hour at a winery and you get to meet the winemaker and you get to walk the vineyard. It is pretty spectacular. And maybe taste some wine out of barrel, or maybe taste something that was a back vintage that's no longer available, and compared to the current, it's pretty cool what you can learn. And
yeah, so we're gonna have the confirmation of the wineries selected soon. That's gonna be on June 2nd, but June 3rd, Wine Market, Black Market Wine Company, BC members reunion. There's a few tickets left, and don't forget that we have only 4 tickets available for the vertical library tasting, private with the owner, and the vineyard walk. So yeah, and you know that dinner, like $100 for a dinner in the vineyard. We look around for some of these other experiences. It's all around the $275 per person. This is nuts how much they charge lately for these kind of experience. So yeah, $100 a person. It's just we just do
including
that
the
to
wines.
this is just to cover the cost, right? Basically, this just like cover the rentals, cover the food, and cover the wines, and that's what we are. We want to build, sorry, that Canadian wine lovers community, and there's nothing better to do that in person in the vineyard, because the vineyard bring out so much emotion, so much of that wonderfulness. Like, I don't know how to say that, but there's always something magic happening around the vineyard. So here we are. So we're a couple of weeks away. Yeah, 2.5 weeks away from that very special event. So we're getting there.
Yes, amazing. And we can't forget. Okay, so here's the down low. For those of you still watching and curious about this reunion and why we have the spit mugs as what you have to buy to get in, it's because in BC, we are actually calling this a private event. And when you have a private event, you can serve, for instance, wine from a private wine collection that doesn't come from the BC Liquor Board. So that's why we did it that way, because that allows us to do some back vintages and maybe some wines that you normally can't find readily on the market and that sort of thing. So it's going to be very special. It is a private event. It's not like going to a winery for an event. This is like a private members event that you cannot normally pay for. And technically you're buying a spit mug. You're not buying a ticket to the party, but we do ask that you bring your spit mug to be able to.
And for people who's been bugging me for years about that, oh yeah, you can have yours. Yours
That
is going
is
to be
the only
available.
one at this point that is that kind, because we've tried to order other ones.
Mine doesn't have the handle for you. Like,
did you saber the handle, Carl Boucher?
I'm not as good as you are with the saber, honey. So yeah, so there you go. My phone's gonna die very soon.
Well, we better head out and check our 3 children how they're doing, and maybe I'll go look for the piece of the wine glass that I sabered off.
That's an absolute perfect cut. I'm so proud of you.
Perfecto.
That's going to the Wall of Fame. That is for sure. We're gonna bring that bottle to the members reunion party so we can show your work to everyone before they do theirs. You can show everyone to like just about like feel confidence and like you can do it because I did. So.
Yeah.
And guess what? And for the people in the eastern part of the country, but yeah, don't be desperate because we are coming your way as well. June 24th, we are going to be in Niagara for the same type of event at Bella Terra, including the library tasting vertical with Fred the winemaker, and the walk in the vineyard with Lou. And the party is going to be bigger at Bella Terra. There's a bigger space there. We are expecting 150 to 200 members there that night. So yeah, so if you guys are sick and tired in Ontario to hear about the BC member reunion, don't worry. Yours is coming your way. And on the 23rd, we're planning a day of touring as well. The same thing. We're going to go do probably 3 to 4 wineries with the Carl's Wine Club type of experience. We already talked to a few wineries there. And Suan said that's just
Suan might pull out her famous grilled cheese for us to taste for wine. And 13th Street is on our list, probably for lunch. And we got 1 or 2 more in the works. So
exactly. So yeah, great things
John,
happening.
Can't wait to meet you.
So great, many exciting things happening. And John, we're doing. I don't know if you heard the beginning of the show, but World Chardonnay Day is on Saturday. We're planning the biggest show on earth for Saturday. We have 45 bottles of Chardonnay ready to be open for this Saturday. some big Chardonnay players are going to be open. So tune in on Saturday, John. We have lots of good stuff to talk about.
Well, cheers, you guys. Boom.
What time, Michelle? So what time? The Chardonnay.
Starting at 3 Pacific.
3 Pacific, so it's 6 o'clock Eastern time, 3 Pacific. It's the start of the show. It's going to go probably until 8 o'clock Pacific, 11 o'clock Eastern. I'm expecting 5 hours or so. And if you're asking about the time for the party at Bella Terra or the party at Black Market, it's a 4 o'clock start for the vertical tasting and a 6 o'clock start for the members reunion. So there is a little bit about our jam-packed Wednesday wine happy hours. Even if we're not doing a feature this week, thanks for taking the quiz. We're still working on improving it, but we're having a lot of great feedback. So
yeah,
yeah.
There we go. I sent an email with the quiz link again today to a lot of people. So if you haven't done the quiz, please do. It's a lot of fun. It's just kind of me picking Carl's brain for months and months now of, different types of wine lovers and how when he was a sommelier and a consultant to wine collectors, because that's what Carl did for 6 years. He was doing purchase strategy for wine collectors in Calgary. And I was like, so how did you know if someone would enjoy a wine? Because that was the biggest thing, is he would always know exactly what kind of wine someone would like. And so I picked his brain and we distilled it into a quiz and we let the robots take care of the rest. So you can now find out what your Canadian wine personality is.
And also, the biggest mistake that can be made is to take that too seriously.
Yeah, like, this is not fun.
Yeah, this is not 100% like that's going to give you exactly your favorite winery in the country without a doubt. Like, it's a mistake to me to expect that. It's a fun thing, and it should be fairly accurate. So hopefully. And give us your feedback, because it's fun. It's all about, that's what wine should be. It should be about fun, be unpretentious, and just to and share with friends. So it is what it is. Great work, Mira, on the quiz, because you did a great job. We had so many emails that people were really enjoyed and all of that. So so we're 13 minutes away from the first Battle of Alberta. Here, the Flames against the Oilers are starting tonight, so it's going to be a fun hockey game. And Chardonnay Day is coming on Saturday. I can't wait. And Intersection, that's coming your way. For all of our VIP, it's coming in your mail, in your email box on Sunday. Stay tuned. It's going to be one of the offer of the year. So.
All right. Yeah. Cheers, everyone. Hope you have
show us the cut again. Show us the cut again.
I did it. I sabered it. Woo!
That's my rock star partner. Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members, so all of you, I wish you a great rest of your Wednesday. Tune in on Saturday. Join us for the festivities of World Chardonnay Day. Thanks.